from Mamelodi Sundowns joins me here on stage just to preview this fixture. Maybe, Coach, if we, with the opening remarks, maybe we just start by your expectations. You are playing away. You were there, I think, a few weeks ago in the league, but it's a different ball game with the cup competition.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fatuan, and good morning to members of the media. I think I must first start by extending the apology from our head coach for other reasons that were unforeseen and unavoidable. Couldn't make it, and I hope we shall be in a position to field and respond to all the questions that are posed. And I think the first one that you put across is it's going to be an exciting match. And already fact that it will be round 2, people can have some sort of level of expectation. There's more of a measure based on what happened a couple of weeks back. And indeed, it was an exciting match. An early goal from Kaizer Chiefs in a packed stadium, great environment, good ambience, and we expect the same. But I think we had a responsibility to stay calm so that we can see ourselves through the match. And before one forgets, I must also convey a message that the ambience and environment was made perfect by supporters, only if they can come earlier. Only if they can come earlier, because it's got a whole lot of other dynamics in it that when they delay the start of the match, it affects your match day routine. Because you would say in preparation for a match, you say the match is at 3 o'clock. What time is your pre-match meal? What time is your pre-match talk? The minute the match gets postponed or delayed a bit, then it would have affected your pre-match meeting, departure from the hotel, and pre-match meal. So it does affect us big time. And the psychology of sports as well. After warm-up, you get back into the dressing room, getting ready for the 4, 5, 6 minutes until the whistle is blown for teams to come to the tunnel. And then they get to be informed that, guys, the match is likely to be delayed for 30 minutes. It deflates. It's another restart. So if they could just come early, that's the only request. I know it is not my responsibility, but from the fact that it does affect the readiness and preparedness of the players to get on a park and give a good display, it does affect us.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you for that message. I'm sure the members of the media will assist us in making sure that it gets out there. With regards to early arrival. Let's take questions from the floor. By a show of hands, I see Mr. John T. Mark.
John T. Mark from The Citizen. Coach, just to ask, obviously we saw Peter Shalulile score 2 good goals yesterday. How important is his kind of resurgence in the team going forward?
Historically, Peter had been a great and a core member of Mamelodi Sundowns, and all of us have that, not only in mind, but even in terms of statistics. Now, when you saw him score last night, you feel a sense of relief and a positive reinforcement that there it goes. And also for him, it's very important for a striker to be high in confidence. And the only thing that brings confidence to a striker is numbers in the net. When they score, they get more confident. And it came at the right time. And the fact that he scored 2, it was more of a confirmation of the quality he is, that it was not an accident. And also the type of goals he scored. The first goal, beautiful goal, just from outside the box, a good strike. And Peter does that at training, relentlessly. Second goal as well. And it was also great to see Peter getting a ball from Ikram, because the ball was played through from Neo, and then he controlled. As he controlled, Peter was on top. So when you find two strikers interplaying, one providing, the other one taking, the one who doesn't make, the other one takes, feels good, and it develops some sort of camaraderie. So I think from that perspective, John T, it was very important for the club, for our supporters, even for Peter himself and the game, so that whoever is coaching saying if strikers can play for each other, there's a possibility of a goal, then it develops what we always work on, selflessness whenever we are inside the box. It was great pleasure seeing him scoring again, and his celebration, trademark. You could feel a man is jumping out of a shell and saying, goodness me, finally. We were all happy.
Thank you, Coach. I'll take the next question. Also looking for new hands. Let's give Jim a chance. I've noted Itako and Karao Mahlatsi as well.
Hi, Coach Steve. I'm with Jim from Prince Global Television Network. On that Shalulile matter, I just want to, one would say, I mean, this season has been a high-scoring season for most of the teams. I just want to ask from you, what would you say has really changed in our striking department, the mentality? Is it the training that you guys maybe are doing differently, that the strikers are now getting their scoring put back? And on the Shalulile matter, I would like to say, now that he's coming back, what kind of talk did you have with him? Or what kind of help to motivate him to come back like that?
Let me go back to the classic Steve, you know. If you ask your baby boy, youngster, to say, listen, go to mommy and ask mom to give me a cup of tea or coffee. When that boy goes to mommy, daddy's asking for a cup of coffee. And then mom says, listen, this tray cost me so much. This cup and this tea is special tea. Don't drop the tray. Chances are that tray is going to be dropped. It's fact. So you don't put stress upon something you know and realize that it is so fragile. But you have to find a way to cushion it and develop it to maturity. And that's what we do with Peter, and what these guys are professional. He knows that, you know what, I'm not in my best form. The goals are not coming. So what you do as a coach, try create scenarios, generate goals, and put him in a position where he can score. That's what Mamelodi Sundowns have been doing. And the support from his teammates, you could see. The whole Sundowns, even the bench, was at the corner celebrating Peter. And I'm sure supporters at the stands were also feeling the same vibe. So we do help without putting too much stress. If your deadline for submission of this assignment, of the report, of the press conference, if you know that deadline is 2:30 and it's 2 o'clock, Steve Komphela is still talking, you're going to make a lot of misprints and typing errors there because you become desperate to get to the end of what is required. But when you relax, no, you deliver a hell of a material.
I hope you understand.
Thank you. Now, with regards to goal scoring, I think, Jim, I don't know whether your question is in reference to Mamelodi Sundowns only or general in the league. That's beautiful. In fact, it's a good sign, because I remember there's a stage where everybody was saying, hi, but these people are not scoring 10 goals per season and all that. It's beautiful. Maybe a whole lot of other factors, a research maybe needed to confirm what I'm saying, but based on just my naked observation, the number of chances you create, the game model that you subscribe to, do you play a game that generates a lot of chances? Mamelodi Sundowns does. There's a match we played and we scored 5 goals, and when you look at the goal scorers, 5 different goal scorers. Yesterday we had 2 out of 3 goals. So when you see a whole lot of other players getting into goal scoring positions and scoring goals and all that, it then talks to, so this team normally generates goals and it is not reliant on one striker. But then there's a beauty where when you have a natural goal scorer who's on form, when he bangs them in, that's also an advantage. You look at Kaizer Chiefs yesterday, who scored the 2 goals. It happens. You go back at Bafana, Talent Mbata, he took 2 goals that are similar and all that. And you see these and then you get excited. And the success of PSL production immediately gets to be the success that becomes a benefit to Bafana. So when they score, and it also invites supporters. Because in all honesty, the chaos and the noise in a match of football is about how you enter the opponent box, threaten and score. The more entries, the more threats, the more goals, people would love that game. And people support teams that score goals. So the game in South Africa, to attract even more fans, we need to score these goals. And at the end of the day, you pay your 40 rand, 50 rand, 60 rand to go watch games. I mean, goals, you don't know what's going to go to a game. It has happened many a times. You see that there's a beautiful match, but it's 0-0. And then people say, it was just a dull match. When in essence, it was a hell of a match. And then you go to a match where there's lots of goals and the match and not as exciting. But the excitement of goals is just a must in any football match. So it's good to see them scoring as well.
Thank you, Coach. Zako?
Afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm just keen to find out on what you've made of Kaizer Chiefs under Coach Nabi, the way that they play, what he's changed, and maybe just as someone who's been on both ends, what are the intangibles that you need to get right in a game like this, so that if in the cut game under the lights?
Our point of reference would be the match we played. You look at you guys who do SWOT analysis. You look at areas where you did very well. Are those opportunities still existent with the current setup at Kaizer Chiefs? Then you have to continue taking advantage. You look at what is it that you benefited from in the previous match. It is no more that it has been dealt with. What is happening currently? So you need to go to that level of also looking at what has changed, what are they doing? And I don't think it would be very professional of me to come here and do an assessment of our opponents. They do have their strengths, they do have their weaknesses, but there has been a significant element of belief, positiveness, there's aura, there's energy that you feel, and that energy comes from the results they acquired and how they see things unfolding. There's hope that this thing is gonna click, and it's good to see that, because when that happens, it puts everybody under pressure. All the teams in the league who wish to be at the top spot, they will buckle up and make it a point that, hey, these people are coming. Everybody else now, it is more of a way of pushing everybody to improve their game. So it benefits everybody, not only themselves, but also the league. Yeah, but indeed, you feel them, and we felt them at FNB. You were there. The couple of last 10, 15 minutes, you could feel the change, even though there's certain things that we know that we shouldn't have done that, we couldn't have done that, we should have done better, we couldn't have done better. Whatever it was, we know. But do you go into a match at the back of a good 75 minutes and then stick to that template and expectation, or you go to the match now with the panic and anxiety of the last 15 minutes? Those are all things you have to factor in. But it's not going to be an easy match. And I'm sure you saw them in Polokwane when they play SuperSport. You saw them yesterday. You still remember what happened when we played them at FNB. It's going to be packed. That stadium will just be golden, black, yellow, and whatever. So you have to perform. And players get affected by such environments. Big players love such environments. And players who get intimidated, the environment swallows them. So we just need to work not only from technical, tactical, preparation and all that. It's going to be more psychological as well. Have the nerve to perform under 100,000 people.
Next question. Karabo, you said you were sorted?
No.
You're good, okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon, sir.
Coach, my colleague and I were just ingesting and digesting the goal of...
Ingest, digest.
Yes, Coach.
The
goal of Ribeiro yesterday, and also, just looking at his performance from last season. Do you honestly and genuinely think that he still deserves to be in this league? Because I think,
what are you saying to our league? We want more of those.
Yeah, but Coach, honestly, how far can he go? Because I think, sometimes it feels like, he's playing with kids on a Sunday morning. He's just too gifted to be in this league.
Not really, because if I were to immediately jump into the notion, then I would have insulted Cape Town City. And I don't think Eric Tinkler would take kind to that. You look at the key two plays in the midfield of Cape Town City. Amot, he's a vibe. He plays good football, and now if you look at the Ribeiro scenario and only be consumed by that and neglect the other great stuff, whether it's your Darwin, your Hudemans, and those are good players. Now, it is good to have the PSL with good quality players, and the product gets there. If La Liga says, no, let's hang on to Messi, hang on to Ronaldo, they want to have a good product that internationally will invite broadcasters and all that, and then the league becomes prestigious and there's better investment. So the PSL must do the same. And if Ribeiro is the kind of player we say, just before he goes somewhere else, and then there's that thing that, guys, what can we do? Can we get some partnership to secure this guy for the prestige and the level of the league? We have to. But in terms of the finishing, he made it look so easy. That connection is one of the most difficult. I'll tell you why. Mudau breaks out wide. It is not in terms of their mathematicians here, in terms of your angles, the ball is not played back per se. It is slightly in line. That's the most difficult connection when you have to connect a square pass. Timing has to be perfect. Maybe the benefit is that the ball came across from his right shoulder and then he connected with the left foot, which then gives him at least a leverage of you can swing and come opposite the trajectory of the ball. Then it becomes a hell of a beautiful goal. And I don't know how many keepers, not unless you are in the radar of the strike and then you raise your arm and touch the ball. But the speed of the ball was insane inside the box. And where is the ball hit? By the penalty spot. But leave Ribeiro, then go back to Peter Shalulile. Give him credit for dragging the defender to the near post. Peter drags the defender to the near post. When the defender goes in, leave Peter, leave Ribeiro. Compliment Mudau for making a pass and not a cross. Because most of the time, players just cross inside the box without any target, but pass inside the box. But the weight on the pass, which is why I always tell people that football players are geniuses, man. These guys are geniuses, but they think with their feet. Tell me, anybody, yourself or myself, put a ball here and do a measurement. You know, velocity, speed, and time, and all those scientists are here. If you put the ball here and aim to find a person at a particular point, at a particular time, that's genius. And football players do that amidst the chaos of actions and all that. And then we still disrespect these people because of, those are mathematicians. You and I, those who play golf, they try here, you putt, the ball falls short. And some try kick a ball, it falls short. But those guys are so precise and accurate. That's what they train for. Now, if the ball comes like that from Dow at the right pace, at the right angle, connects with Ribeiro, Peter goes there. It needs a lot of synchronization, a lot of training, a lot of understanding to execute that. But at the end of the day, after you've put all the ingredients, the one who enjoys the soup simply says, the soup was nice.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Mahlatsi was also ingesting.
And digesting. Yeah, no, you were really ingesting there.
Coach,
Yes,
last night Coach Mantoba didn't have an immediate diagnosis on Trevor.
didn't have?
An immediate
Okay.
diagnosis on Trevor.
Okay,
He
sure.
didn't look good when he went off. I just want to check if he is out of this match, how much of a blow is he? Because most of the stuff that you guys do revolves around him, your systems and all those
Did you speak to Vina this morning?
No. And also consider the fact that Mrs. is not there. So if you don't have both of them,
Okay.
who are sort of the heartbeat of the team.
Okay.
maybe
Why I'm asking you if you spoke to Vina this morning? Vina may have said, hey, Mahlatsi, ask him about the river for the weekend. And now you're talking to Steve Komphela. I am listening to what you're saying, but I hear what you're not saying. So, River's issue happened last night, and it's quite premature for us to have any exact assessment. Maybe we would have had our team doctor, your medics would give us a better reflection. But listen, in football, things are possible. So it happened last night. As soon as we get feedback, we had regen and maintenance session. I come from training now. They were looking at him, and the protocols that are required from a medical point of view will be applied. We hope to have him. We should. And indeed, River, he gives the team different personality. Mshishi gives the team different personality. Then your biggest challenge as a coach then becomes, do you then make a team made by the quality of the players, or you make a team that plays to your structure? Do players make the team, or where now you make a structure and fit in players? We depend on the quality of these players, top players. But at some point, there's a stage where you say, what do I have? Okay, the ingredients that I have here, they call for this type of production. So sometimes you don't have all that you want, so you have to work with what you have.
Quick one from Velile as we wrap up. I've noted Jabuno.
Yes, Coach.
That.
Coach, I just want to go back.
Ungandibuzi politiki Velile.
I don't want to take
Okay, Dad.
I think previously maybe we might have been harsh on you, but maybe we were informed by the events of that time to say that maybe coaches were a bit cowardice not to throw in the youngsters. What would you attribute? We see this change now, especially even with the big three. You're not just even throwing in these young boys, the under 17 or even the under 20, under 23 generation, as players will come in for the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but they are match winners, they start the games. What would you attribute this change to?
Having confidence in the players. Maybe we are informed by the game as well, because the game has gone a bit faster, and the younger the faster you are, the game has gone very technical, and they've got great level of technical ability. And also, I think that there's a selling point, and there has to be a buy-in. Now, if your selling point does not have a very strong point of reference, the buy-in is slow, is reluctant. I'll tell you why I'm saying that. If you then say to a loving person, football-loving person in South Africa, look at Yamal, whoever, look at this one and that one, they play 16, 17. You are then buying them the opportunity to be patient with a 17-year-old in South Africa. But previously, you never had that opportunity. So maybe the international point of reference has given us an acceptance to say, it's not about age. Governor Hunt once said that if you're good enough, it doesn't matter about your age. He doesn't care how young you are. If you're good enough, you get put in there, you play. So I think the game has gone to a level where people have bought into the understanding that it's not about age. If he's capable, let him play. And it has become an international trend and a phenomenon. And in South Africa, it also existed. So there's no way we can be in denial, even though sometimes it takes us a bit of time to accept where the game is going. In terms of players, it's easy, but they give you a confirmation as well, because all these youngsters, Abo Maben, Abo Kutwan, Abo Relay, and all these folks, you can see that these youngsters, and also go back and thank the development of football in terms of DDC and that in South Africa, because it helps. They get exposed to the structures of operating in a team environment, a professional environment, early enough. And then when they get to senior environments, they are not far behind. Even yesterday, the scorer in Polokwane yesterday, Ubuyapi, it's just that. So it is also important to say, let's not only look at it where it happens, but look where it comes from. But how did it happen? Acceptance to the reality. You can't be in denial. If the world says today, no, Stevie, accept that as soon as you give out a team sheet, there's a million comments that would be made about how nonsensical it is. If you're in denial, you're going to fight all those people. That's the reality of life. You put out a story, much about Kalilu Velile, a top story. That's the reality of life. If you're in denial, you'll never go along. And uzothola usale muva. So you can't stay behind because you say fact that I don't know it, then it cannot be right. No, it doesn't mean if you don't know it, it's wrong. You gotta be aligned. I think South Africa is aligning as well. And it's a great, great initiative.
Thank you, Coach. Last one, Jabulo.
Jabulo Giti from News 24. Coach, what is it that drives the Sundowns technical team, and how do you guys handle the brief period at the start where there were doubts that were lingering, bordering on cutting aspersions on you guys' capability of continuing the dominance and even raising the star?
I think, Jabulo, the environment, the leadership environment at Sundowns is very complex. And not only now, it had always been like that. And in high performance environments, you can't hold too much sentiment because it's about production. And answering the question directly, what is holding us together? What is keeping the environment? And maturity, my brother. Maturity and selflessness and understanding leadership. If you are at a very complex environment like that and you're selfish, you'll have a problem. If you're in an environment like that, you lack maturity, you'll have a problem. Because you can imagine if I go in there and I'm egoistic, then Coach Mangoba is there. No, but Steve Komphela is coached at Arrows, is coached at Kaizer Chiefs and all that. And then you don't want to accept the fact that, listen, leadership is about sharing opinions and also understanding that positions are not a reflection of leadership, but your inputs and maturity in dealing with matters to get maximum output. That's leadership. If you lack that understanding, you can't work at Mamelodi Sundowns and you can't work anywhere else. So modern leadership and management, and which goes to everybody, even in corporate, you need to have soft skills. No matter how good you are in modern life, you can be a top person and all that. When you lack soft skills, you'll see nothing in leadership. We don't instruct anymore. You have to get a buy-in. We don't bulldoze people. Tell me now, Carlos Queiroz working at Real Madrid, and then Beckham has to go to LA, there's a shoot on Gillette, whatever. Then Carlos says, no. Or Ronaldo takes his private jet. He leaves Spain, he goes to Portugal. You're dealing with these guys that have money like... Now, you want to tell me that you're going to treat him like a small boy? No, that time is gone, my friend, to be telling people. You have to explain why it has to be done. And then put it here, get a buy-in from them. Don't instruct them. And if our bosses are still instructing us, the management today has changed. Have soft skills to speak sense to these people that they understand why it has to be done, not what has to be done.
Thank you. Oh, there was a second part to that question. Can we just get a mic so we can just remind the coach?
Then the first part is, how do you guys handle the doubts at the beginning of when you guys came in at the start?
Focus, mind over matter. Who said it will all be given to you? How many stories have you written when and all of them don't get 5 stars? Did you then drop the pen and the paper and the laptop? No. You didn't get bitter, you got better. Focus. And I have the same level of expectation from disappointments that success is always surrounded by lots of sourness and disappointment. And a slight touch of sourness and bitterness should not dampen your spirit and aggressive desire to want to succeed. C'est la vie, that's life. When you walk on water and then you get flutters and then there's mud and then you start saying, say, when you approach water, then have expectations of those sprinkles. And not only sprinkles that are pure and clean, there may be mud there. So whatever you deal with, there's blessings and burdens are cousins. Chief, the only way to get life or to get fire, there must be friction. Without friction, there can never be any improvement. But if you want to swim in sweetness, you're going to rot in there. At some point, you need to clean yourself and drink water so that you clean your palate and say, okay, but this hand is different from the one that I had yesterday. Then you draw differences. But if you drown yourself in one mode, Like a train, you're heading one station.
Coach, it was great having you.
Great pleasure.
By the way, Coach, did you manage to get your Instagram page back?
Yeah, guys, they hacked me. And in all honesty, I know this is a professional environment, and to us, being professional is being respectful. These are soft skills and core human values we talk about. Well, at Sundowns, when somebody comes a bit late, we say be professional. But at the back of that, it is just being respectful. So being professional is not saying, you gotta be professional, Steve, and not be too casual when you address media. When they say be professional, they say be respectful. So the teachings and learnings of sports with regards to life, that they teach us to be professional, they are injecting respect into us. Let me go back to what I wanted to say. So I gotta respect these people. They hacked my Instagram page, don't go there. And those who like other people's news have been there several times. And I'm sure they realize that, no, this content and these pictures here are far too appealing. So don't go there. I know you played, that's why you're laughing. You went there and you saw the pictures. So there are some pictures that are not nice, but at least that our social media people have helped me a lot. They blocked the activity. You can see the username change. And on Instagram, I'm not an expert when it comes to those, but there's a message they always give you. They say, if the username has been used far too often, chances are that account, so mine, the username has been used twice. So it means somebody was just busy on his own things. And thank you so much, guys, for also making me aware. And the people who were also livid. I lost a lot of good memories. But again, I'm saying maybe those memories did not. There's two ways in life. When you lose something, it either doesn't deserve you or you don't deserve it. When you lose your job, don't cry. Either you don't deserve that job or that job does not deserve you. It's a given. Because we cry so much to say, no, I must be at this job, I must be at this job. But this job doesn't deserve you because you don't put effort. Or, I must be at this job, I must be at this job, and you are far better than that job, you deserve a better environment. So when that separation happens, accept it. So I had to lose all these pictures, maybe I did not deserve them, or they did not deserve me. In what way? I've worked at different clubs. The profile had different clubs. I'm now at Mamelodi Sundowns. Maybe the Sundowns want to go to is saying, hey, too much of that. We want you now alone at Sundowns. That's life, my friends.
Thank you, Coach.
Perspective to life.
Thank you.